you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be going over why I'm quitting jiu-jitsu and wrestling. Well, basically, I had a recent thought where it's not really helping me right now, BJJ and wrestling and all of this, especially I don't know, I'm just not really there for it anymore. I just kind of lost the motivation. I know you guys have been seeing me post all these videos and seem like I'm having a lot of fun and competing and doing all this fun stuff. Well, really, I'm not really having much fun anymore, and just kind of got boring after a while. I'm very sorry, guys, but it's not really what I want to do anymore. Doing BJJ and wrestling, they made me happy, but not enough. And it's not going to help me with anything, and to be honest, jiu-jitsu is kind of useless. But just beating the shit out of the trial students wasn't really filling the void anymore. After just tapping them out a whole bunch of times and making them regret ever joining jiu-jitsu, something wasn't really fun anymore. They just became too easy for me, I guess. After all their pain and suffering that they had to deal with me, I bet you they're very happy that I'm quitting. And wrestling too, when I'm getting oil checked here. Number 1, we always talk about respect in jiu-jitsu, but as we can tell, it's never actually ever that. It's usually just a whole bunch of dudes rolling around on the ground, oftentimes probably doing steroids, and even worse, big sweaty men. No one wants big sweaty men dripping their sweat all over them. We all know that jiu-jitsu is filled with injuries, especially look at this shoulder lock. This person just gets their arm snapped off. If that was me, I wouldn't want that hug. As we can tell, jiu-jitsu isn't actually all that respectful. It's just a whole bunch of people filled with egos that think they're so good at a sport. So what? I don't want my arms broken. That's why that brings me to number 2, injuries. How can you be proud of breaking someone's arm off like this? Just watch. And that happened personally. One time I was doing my first ever tournament and my arm almost snapped off in this match. Flashback to my white belt days when I got picked up and almost slammed with this armbar. And that is why I've wasted 2 years of doing nothing with this sport. We all thought it was some God-given superpower, but it all is very useless. And we all thought that you could beat people that are 260.
Oh, there we go. There you go. Ah, okay. Tap it out. Tap it out. Tap it out. Whoa. Tap it out. Tap it out. Go.
As we can tell, many people just walk around with a fresh-ass ego, thinking they're all this. But we all know jiu-jitsu is fake and it doesn't actually work. Just stand up, bro. And that brings me to my next regret. How gay jiu-jitsu actually is. What is entertaining about watching men grapple on the ground for sudden death? And we all know Craig Jones for making the sport so gay. Just watch these clips. Who wants to be sharing mat space with this guy? Personally, I wouldn't want to grapple with him, because I know he's also notorious for his 69 guard against guys. I don't know why in all these clips he's wearing a banana hammock, but whatever. Literally, a banana hammock. And some people are crying over getting a piece of fabric. Really? Why don't we all just pull Sean Strickland and throw it away? Sean Strickland was very smart for doing this. Some gyms even promote based on time or even money. Yes, you heard me. You have to pay for your belt. Some gyms you even have to pay for your promotions. What even is that? That's what we call a McDonald's gym, aka a McDojo. And it goes without saying, this whole sport is based on choking and knocking each other unconscious. And we all say jiu-jitsu is a gentle art, but is it really though? Half the stuff could happen to yourself and you don't even know. In one moment you can end up like me in this picture. And that brings me back to my other reason, the ego. We often hear at jiu-jitsu gyms where it says, leave your ego at the front door. And all of my Twitter feed and Reddit feed are all just people crying and complaining about people's egos in BJJ. And that's why I've been robbed of my time. Not only that, my joints have suffered enough pain and suffering. and that's why I'm practically paralyzed. And I'm still extremely cocky, and that's why I'm gonna keep doing BJJ. Cause guess what? April Fool's bitch. I would never want to give up on this sport, especially when trial students don't have much to live for. Me and my blue belt are gonna take over and conquer all the trial students. Or some would say, take the world by storm.